I know it's been like, what, a month since I haven't been on here. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. In today's video, we are going to be making cheesecakes. So we are not in the original beauty room area. We are in my dining room. You can see my cute tree here. And as you can see, we have all the ingredients we need to make our cheesecakes. So I did do cheesecakes for Thanksgiving, and you guys said that you wanted the recipe on how to make my cheesecakes. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. And I'm going to make cherry cheesecakes and chocolate cheesecakes. So it's perfect for any event, any occasion, any holiday. And I'm also going to be having Mark join me. We're gonna be answering some couples questions, and we're just gonna bake, make some cookies, drink some hot chocolate. And yeah, if you guys want to join in and learn how to make my cheesecakes, then just keep watching. Alrighty, so we've got Mark here. I've got my pink blender. If you guys want to know where I got this, I got it from Hobby Lobby, and it was only $15, so it's a steal. Okay, so first we're gonna do is the cherry cheesecakes, and then we'll do the chocolates. So what you're gonna need basically is just Philadelphia cream cheese and then the Cool Whip. And I like to use like the actual Philadelphia brand just because I'm real picky with the way the cheesecake tastes. So I prefer the Philadelphia brand, but it's totally up to you. And then I like to use the Keebler graham crust. Like I said, you don't have to use this exact brand, but I like to just because I'm very picky about the way it tastes, and you can kind of tell the difference. And then the cherries, I'm using this brand. It's called Lucky Leaf, but it's just cherry fruit filling, as you can see here. I'll zoom it in. Got it at Albertsons. I don't know if you have Albertsons in your area, but I'm pretty sure they have this at every grocery store. So what I'm going to use is just one stick of the cream cheese, and we're gonna have Mark open this for us. So go ahead and open it. And let me go to one of our questions that we have. So one of our questions is, how long have you guys been married?
5 years.
We've been married for
going on 5 years.
5 years, but we've been
together for 7.
Together for 7? Yes, because Mark proposed to me when we were a year together, and then we didn't get married till the following year. So let's talk about how you proposed to me. Did we talk about that in our perfume video?
I don't think so.
Remember we did a video where he rated my perfumes, and we did kind of talk about like questions. We talked about like how we met and stuff, but I don't think we talk about how you proposed to me.
Proposed to you at a Olive Garden. At
Olive Garden, because Olive Garden was actually our first date together. It was where we had our first date, and so a year later Mark took me to Olive Garden, and I thought, oh, it's tradition, we're gonna go to Olive Garden for our year anniversary. And so whenever we got there, I was like shocked because our family was there, and then his family was there all together. So I was like, that's weird, why are you gonna bring your family to our anniversary date? And so I'm like hugging his parents, right? To hug his parents. And after I hugged his mom, she was like, turn around. And I turned around, and Mark is there on his knees, like crying. Tears. Crying. You had tears running down your face.
Because I love you.
And I don't exactly remember what you were saying because I was like totally in shock.
I said, I didn't ask you to be my girlfriend, but I'm gonna ask you to be my wife. Will you marry me?
Oh yeah, because he never asked me to be his girlfriend. He just kind of
fell into it.
Just kind of assumed that we were dating because we were like going on so many dates together. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. But yeah, that's how he proposed to me. And I remember all the workers at Olive Garden were like, how cute. I was just like, oh my god, I was not expecting this, but of course I say yes. And then here we are 5 years later, living together, living the good life.
Great life. So fast.
Yeah, so this thing is like high powered.
You want to make it work?
Well, I'm putting it at a low level. See, this is the lowest.
Can you add another one, or are you just gonna do one?
Well, it's because I like to mix the cream cheese by itself first, and then I add the whipped cream, because if I do both together, it's like harder to mix it. So now the Cool Whip, now we can add the Cool Whip.
How much do you add?
Like half of it. So we're gonna take a spoon.
So half of 1 pound. So if you can get an 8 ounce, that's what it would be.
He'd be better at doing cooking shows than me. I'm just like, oh, just put half of it.
Just sprinkle.
Just sprinkle. Just throw the half of it. So there's really no like specific amount of how much of each to put. You kind of just have to taste test it, and that's where the secret recipe comes in. You know, when it comes to my famous cheesecakes, it's like you have to know the perfect amount of cream cheese and Cool Whip to get that taste, that not too cheesy, not too cream cheesy, but not too whipped creamy either. It's like the perfect blend of both. So I can't really tell you guys like how much to put when it comes to that, but that's where the secret is. So you kind of have to. There's a spoon right there, a little spoon. And you just blend it together until you get it to the taste you like.
Made you a design. Like so.
You made me a design. Okay, so this is how it looks. The consistency, you want it to look very smooth, like no lumps, okay? No lumps in here. So another question we got is, what's your favorite thing about Charla? So this is a question for Mark. So what's your favorite thing about me, babe?
It's a good question. I think that just genuinely, you're a nice person. Aside from the typical, oh, she's nice, like you literally have a good heart, and there's like no one I've met like you. So that's what I like about you. You're just always nice.
Aww, baby. I love you. You're so sweet. We're just going to put the filling in the crust, and the best way to not break the crust, because I know it's like the crust is real fragile, so basically you're just gonna take your spoon and just slide it gently to the right. I mean, unless you're left-handed, then it would be to the left, but easier if you use a little spoon.
You're not moving so much at one time.
Yeah. I'm over here showing you guys how to make a cheesecake, and then mine's all coming out all ugly. It's like, how come when you're not showing anybody how you make it, it comes out all perfect, and then when you are showing somebody, it's all ugly? It's like when you're doing a makeup tutorial, your makeup looks all ugly, and then when you're not showing someone how you do your makeup, it's all it's all nice. Okay, so that is how it looks, all spread out, all beautifully. Now we're going to put some cherry fruit filling, and this is like the best part. If you're not a big fan of cherries, you can always use like strawberries or the peach. But these cherries are very, very sweet, so I feel like anybody would like these cherries, even if you're not a fan of cherries. It's still really, really sweet. But yeah, you can also use strawberry filling, pineapple filling if you're like a fan of pineapple cheesecakes. And basically you're just going to spread it around. And that's pretty much it, you guys. This is really kind of like how to make cheesecake for dummies because there's really no like wrong way to make this. The real recipe is just putting your love into it, making sure that the filling tastes as sweet as you want it. So I mean, there's really no like wrong way to make this cheesecake. So if you guys end up making this, tag me, This is perfect for like a last minute dessert if you guys are running behind on making desserts for Christmas. I mean, literally this does not take long to make, and you only have to put it in the fridge for a few hours so that it can how do you say it, like harden a little bit, so that way it's not like all flimsy when you're eating it. So yeah, that's pretty much. We are back with the full screen. My camera died, so I had to charge it a little bit, but you all saw how I made the cherry cheesecake. So now we're moving on to the chocolate cheesecake. So basically the same way I made the cream cheese filling for the cherry one is the same way we're gonna do it for the chocolate one, so nothing new. So basically I'm just going to make chocolate pudding from the Jello brand, and this is pretty much, this is pretty much basic, simple. You just mix it with milk. It says not to use soy milk because then it won't like it won't set. So we also made some cookies that we're gonna decorate Christmas themed. That way we can answer more questions with you guys. But look at these cute little pink Santa cookies, like the little decorations. So I already have cookies waiting for us to decorate. So we're just going to make the chocolate pudding really quick and then we'll do that. But I got some hot chocolate that I just made myself. Mark's drinking a beer. Wait, how much do we put in there? The whole thing? A whole serving?
Yeah, the whole thing, and then you would put 3 cups of cold milk.
Okay, so I guess just put the whole thing. If we have any left over, we can save it and eat it with graham crackers and marshmallows. That'd be so good. But we're out of graham crackers, so we'll have to go get some. Okay, so it said 3 cups of milk, right? Okay, so I think where we got cut off, Mark was answering a question saying what's our favorite thing about each other. So Mark already said his. My favorite thing about Mark is that he pushes me to be my best. He pushes me to do better, and he's always like pushing me towards my goals. And I feel like I wouldn't be here to where I am if it wasn't for this guy right here. So I love that Mark helps me chase my dreams and he doesn't hold me back. So I think that's really hard to find in a person. So I'm really glad that I have that with Mark. So are you sure it said 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
It says 3 cups of cold milk.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I love about Mark. I think that's why he's my true soulmate. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and mix that. Okay, so we're gonna wait for the pudding to get jello-y. It takes about 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and answer another question. So one question said, what is your embarrassing moment that you will never forget? I did mention this story. I was doing a live with Tanya last weekend, so whoever didn't see the live, I'll tell y'all the story again. So basically, me and Mark were barely dating, like maybe for a few months, right? Mm-hmm. We were just like barely in the early stages of dating, and I was working at PetSmart at the time. I was a store manager, and it was really, really busy that day, and it was just me and like a few other workers, and I started my period out of the nowhere at work, and our attire was khaki pants, like the brown khaki pants. I mean, that's what the color's called, khaki. So it's like if something were to happen, you'd be able to see it. So I was like panicking because I couldn't leave because it was so busy, and then I couldn't send one of my workers because there was only a few of us. So I didn't know what to do, and I was panicking because I was like, oh my god, I'm wearing khaki pants and I just started my period. So I called Mark, and I was so embarrassed because I was like, we're barely dating and I'm gonna ask him to buy me pads. I was like, that's weird. And my friend that worked with me, she was like, just ask him, he's not gonna think it's weird. I was like, what if he breaks up with me because I asked him to buy me pads? So I call him and I'm like, this is gonna be a really, really weird favor, but can you please go buy me some pads? I just started my period. And I thought he was gonna react all weird, but he was just like, yeah, okay, I'll go buy you some. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, which ones do I get? And I was like, just FaceTime me when you get there.
You're all nervous?
I was so nervous to ask him.
Very embarrassed, mostly.
And then I was embarrassed for him because I was like, the cashier's gonna look at him all weird for him to be buying pads.
I mean, it's not like it's my period, but...
So he FaceTimed me when he got there, and it was so weird because I was like, wait, zoom in. Okay, go over here. No, it's those. And I was like, oh, I was so embarrassed. But I got him to buy me the pads, and then he brought them, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, it's okay. And I was like, I feel so embarrassed. It was so awkward. I was like, okay, thanks, bye. How did you feel when I made you buy those for me?
I mean, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, well, it's kind of normal. Everyone does it. I mean, every woman has that.
But
so.
have you ever had to buy like pads for like your exes before?
Mm-mm.
No, just me. So I popped your pad cherry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, babe? What was your most embarrassing moment?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it.
You're gonna have to think about it?
Yeah.
Okay,
next question.
We'll go to the next question and then we'll come back so he can think about it. Because I'm pretty sure there has been some embarrassing moments.
A few.
Okay, so how about favorite memory together?
Whenever I took you to Dominican Republic and just seeing your face on how amazed you were.
Ooh, yes, because fun fact.
She had never been anywhere.
Before I met Mark, I have never traveled like anywhere outside of Texas, period. So Mark took me to the Dominican.
Get it? Period.
Mark took me to the Dominican Republic, and it was so pretty there. If anyone ever has a chance to like go there for vacation, it's beautiful to go there, and it's not like as expensive to go there, right? Like it's pretty affordable for like the
Well, I
average
won those
couple.
trips, but yeah, it's not that expensive.
It's not that bad.
It's about the same price as Cancun, which is not that expensive.
Everybody goes to Cancun. My most favorite moment, I want to say, is like during the first stages of when me and Mark would go out. We would go on like little dates, and then I was so tomboy back then. If you guys don't know, I've never been a girly girl before.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to see. Everything's pink now.
Everything's pink now, but back then I was like a tomboy. I would wear like red and black, and then my hair was red. And
into cars.
I was into cars, so
He has to go outside.
Sebastian has to go outside. Okay, so one of my favorite memories is when we were in our early stages of dating and we would go on little dates. So our most favorite thing to do together was go wash our cars together, because we both had Mustangs. I was like in a car club. I don't know if Mark was in a car club or not. So basically what we would do for fun is go and wash our cars and then drive. Usually now our favorite things to do is like go eat and go shopping. That's like my favorite thing to do now. But back then our favorite thing to do was to wash our cars and cruise and take pictures of our cars. So my favorite memory is when me and Mark would go and wash our cars together, and then I would help him like detail his car, and then I would wash his rims really nice. And I think he even has pictures of me like on my knees cleaning the wheels. So those are like one of my favorite memories. And then we would go and take pictures of our cars together, all cute. And then we would go cruising. Man, those were the days. Those are like my favorite memories. Like I wish I could go back to 2014 and just relive those moments.
You have a lot of favorites.
I have a lot of favorites. So I think
sure
it's already set. So let's go ahead and put this into the cheesecake, and then we will decorate some cookies. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did like with the cherries. I just spread them evenly on the top. So I mean let me get the little spoon. That's basically it. You can also add like some pecan nuts or almonds or any kind of nuts if you like, but I personally don't like nuts with chocolate. You can even add cherries too, but I personally just like to eat it like that. Okay, so the cheesecakes are officially done. Now we are going to be decorating some cookies, and I got this little decorating set from Walmart, and they come with like little pink Santas and pink gingerbreads. I'll overlay the clip here of how they look up close. They're so cute. So me and Mark are gonna be eating cookies, decorating cookies, and let's go ahead and go on to the next question. Have you thought of an embarrassing moment or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so next question is, when did you know he was the one, and vice versa? You wanna go first? You want me to go first?
I'll let you go first. This is interesting.
I already thought of it too, and then you just put me on the spot. So now I'm like, So I knew Mark was the one when Mark would always open the doors for me, and I remember one day he even picked me up and carried me to my car because my brother won't let me forget that moment. And also because he's very loyal, and he even like I remember back then he would screenshot like his phone and tell me that he like blocked all his other girls he was talking to because he wanted me to like, I guess, feel secure. And I don't know, it's just like when you get that gut feeling like that you're comfortable with somebody and you like fully trust that person. Like I just kind of knew Mark was the one because I could see myself with him like for the rest of my life. I could actually like picture myself having kids with him, growing old with him. And I mean,
it's just something, you know, you can't ask somebody if you think that they're right for you. You just have to know it in your gut. You can't.
Yeah, there's not really like a specific moment. It's just, you just feel it. And I think I know Mark's the one is because when I think about him not being in my life, I cry and I get like anxiety attacks. Like I think about it and I'm like, what if like Mark left me tomorrow, or what if something happens? Like I start to like get anxiety and then I like cry because I'm like, I can't live without Mark. So I think that's how I really know that he's the one. Like other people I'll be like, bye, but Mark, it's like I can't go without Mark. He's my soulmate. I can't live without him.
You're a cutie.
Okay, now you.
Now me?
Yeah.
It's not really like a specific time when I realized, but I don't know, just the way she carried herself, aside from the respect that we have for one another, because that goes a long way, is respect. You know, if you can't learn to respect each other and trust, you're never gonna find that person. No matter how much you try, once that trust is broken and ruined, that's it, it's over. But you know, since I met you, I just kind of threw a cheesy pickup line, and I was like, wow, she fell for her. She's definitely the one.
Okay, so I know we definitely told people like how we first met, so we're not going to talk about that. But somebody also asked too to talk about our first kiss. Like, how did our first kiss happen?
We were actually hanging out in my backyard.
No, that wasn't our first kiss.
Yes, it was.
Ah.
Yes, ma'am.
Our first kiss is we were in the front yard talking with your parents. Like, I actually got to meet your parents, and then I got to meet your sister.
No, you got to meet them right away when like the second time we met, because you came over saying that your light was broken, and then I threw that cheesy line, and then my parents just happened to be outside. It wasn't that time. Our first kiss was whenever we first held hands in my backyard, and my friend Raul, my friend Clint, and I believe Eli were there. And then you were gonna leave, so I walked you to the front yard, and they stayed in the backyard talking, and that was our first kiss outside by your car. You remember?
Yeah, I remember he walked me to my car, and then I was like, should I kiss him? Should I not kiss him? If I don't kiss him, like, it's already been like how long that we were dating and we haven't kissed? I was like, I feel like if I don't kiss him already, he's gonna think I don't like him like that. So I was like, let's just go for it. So it was kind of like an awkward kiss, but it was like a cute awkward kiss. Like, I felt fireworks and butterflies when I kissed him, but it was like a little awkward kiss where you're just like
It was a peck.
It was a little peck, but it was like so cute and so innocent. I was like, got in my car and I was like, oh my god, I just kissed him.
Like little kids. I can't believe you forgot our first kiss.
No, I didn't forget how it happened. I just forgot like what day.
That was the day, remember? Because you leaned your head on my shoulder and we were holding hands. And then I was like, alright, she gonna be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Got a girlfriend, Norbit?
I remember he said he was so excited because he didn't think that I wanted to hang out with him. And I texted him, I was like, because you were like, we should hang out again.
She's like, sure. And I was like, really?
Not even thinking anything of it, that I was gonna like want to hang out with him. And then I was like, yeah, we can hang out tomorrow. And he was like, really? You don't got any friends? And I was like, no. I was a loner. I was a loner back then. He's like, you don't have any friends? And I'm like, no. I'm feeling all embarrassed. I'm like, no. You want to hang out or not?
She was like too pretty for me, so I was just like really surprised that. Oh, stop. I was really surprised and impressed that she wanted to hang out. So I was like, oh, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
It was my guitar skills.
Oh my god. No, you always say that. And oh my god.
What are you doing?
I'm putting icing on the cookies.
Why does it look like milk?
I don't know, because I guess I needed it too much. Oh, another embarrassing moment. Not embarrassing moment because I didn't care. It was Valentine's Day and Mark and his sister made me chocolate covered strawberries, and he texted me and he was like, hey, I made you some chocolate covered strawberries, and I was like, I'll be there in a minute because I love chocolate covered strawberries. So I went up there and he was like, I'll come get in your car, I'll come outside. So he came outside. He came to my driver's window and he gave me the plate of strawberries. Mind you, he only made me like 5. It
was 6.
There was like 4 or 5 little strawberries, like little baby strawberries.
They were like 2-3 bite strawberries.
And so he gave them to me in the past, like he came up to my window, he gave them to me, and then he was gonna go walk around to get in the passenger side. And when he was walking around, I was there eating them. I was like, dang, these are good. And then I was literally on the last one, and he gets in the car and he looks at the plate and he's like, that was supposed to be for us. And I was like, with the strawberry down my throat, I was like, I was like, he probably thinks I'm a fat ass. I was like, I thought these were for me. And he was like, no, they were for us. I was like, why the hell did you only bring 4 strawberries then?
That was right before our first date.
So I knew Mark wanted to marry me because I had an appetite for food. Because even on our first date to Olive Garden, usually like they say girls are like so shy that they don't eat on their first dates. Hell no, I was eating my breadsticks, I was eating my soup. I was looking at him like, are you gonna eat that last breadstick? Because I want it. Like, I was not afraid to eat in front of him. So I guess that's why he fell in love with me, because he knew I wasn't afraid to eat. I was like, first of all, I came to this date specifically for the food. Whether I like you or not, I came for the food. But I ended up liking him, so it worked out. But what? Aw. But yeah, I'm gonna eat one of these cookies. You want a cookie, baby?
Sure. Cookies and beer.
Made some little Christmas cookies. Who's the best cook? Me. When are you guys going to have a cute little baby? Oh my god. This is a question we struggle all
the time.
All the time.
Literally just a while ago. Your sister was like,
oh yeah. Every single day, almost. When are you gonna have a baby? When are you gonna have a baby? I'm just like, if you're gonna come live with me for a few months, then I will have a baby tomorrow. But if you're not, then please give me time. I don't know when we're gonna have a baby. Our goal right now is to get our own like dream home. That's what we're working towards right now, because I mean, we don't want to have a baby here. We kind of want to move away. We kind of want to move and have a nice house and get a ranch, you know, so our horses can be in our backyard instead of us having to like drive to Narnia to feed our horses. So that's kind of like our goal right now, is just to get our own place. And then as soon as we get our own place, I promise you we will get to work with the baby making. And I mean, we're still young, we're 27. My mama had me when she was 30 and I came out just fine. I mean, look at me. So I think we're okay, we're on the right track. We're just really enjoying each other. And I'm like really selfish, like I just want to like have Mark all to myself right now. So I think we're just, you know, enjoying each other's company right now. And once I start getting tired of him, then I'll be like, okay, give me a baby.
She's gonna trade me in.
I'm gonna trade you in for a baby. So we're gonna wait for that, but until then.
It's made out of glass or what?
I know it's hard to open. But until then, no babies right now. Last questions. We're getting down to the last of this video. But someone asked, what is your best advice when it comes to having a healthy relationship? So what do you think, babe?
I think just getting off social media. No one needs to know all your problems.
Don't put all of your business on the internet. Try to keep your relationship as private as possible. I'm not saying don't post pictures of each other. Don't show what you're doing. I mean, yes, but also don't post about when y'all are fighting. Don't, like, pretty much, like, don't post your problems, and then try not to be on social media 24/7. Like, yeah, I would say basically, like, try to keep your life private as possible, because people will go and try and nitpick at you, talk about y'all's relationship. There's even people who can't be happy for y'all because they're not happy in their relationship, so they want to go and ruin y'all's relationship because they see how happy y'all are together. Like, there's just a lot of, like, negative, rude people in this world. So I'm, like, really glad that I keep Mark, like, our relationship as private as possible. I mean, this is probably like the second video that I posted on YouTube with Mark, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna post videos with him. I mean, of course I will, but not like in the way like other YouTubers are, because I feel like that's why a lot of people separate. You know, just
maybe not, but
putting their life out there too much, and then people see their problems and then they start attacking them in the comments.
They figure out when you're weakest, and then they go after the other. Like say, you know, we posted we're fighting, and then some just random girl's gonna try to DM me or your boyfriend at that time, and same thing with her. You know, we're fighting, and some guy's gonna try to DM her, and you know, things might lead to another. Even if it doesn't lead to anything, if I find out or if she finds out, it's just another fight to avoid. But also, you look pretty dumb whenever you put your laundry out there and you're talking smack about.
And then the next day y'all are all fine and dandy.
Back and forth, and it just looks immature. But I mean, just stay away from that. Everyone's gonna have their problems. Everyone has their fights. Nobody's perfect, but everyone has their demons.
The thing too is, like, number one is like respect for each other's feelings, and if you can't like respect each other's feelings, like, you gotta move on to the next. That's just how it is, and that's also very, very hard to find too. Like, that's what I really love about Mark. I mean, I love everything about Mark, but
well,
I love that he respects. Yes, he respects my feelings, and also I don't come about it in a wrong way. I always try and tell him, like, logically why I feel that way, and usually he understands. Like, I don't come at him like, I don't like that hoe, unfollow her. I'll be like, okay, babe, well, this is how I feel. I'm just really uncomfortable, and I really hope you understand. You know, it's just a different way to... It's
not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's how you say it.
Always in how you say it.
Yes.
Happy wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
But also happy together.
Happy forever.
Happy forever. Because if one of them's bad, if I'm upset or she's upset and only one of us is happy, eventually it's going to explode into a big fight. And you don't want none of that. So just try to avoid problems, like always.
And number 3, most important thing, let your wife get whatever animal she wants, and however many animals she wants.
Only if she's gonna take care of them.
I've been begging Mark to let me have another puppy, and he keeps telling me, no, but I really, really want another puppy. But
well, it's because if you want to travel a lot, not only do we have the 2 dogs to pawn off on somebody. Horses can't fly with us. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could if we had a lot of money, but you got the horses, you got the snake, you got the bunny, you got the 2 doggies. That's a lot for if we want to take a 2-week vacation.
Question really isn't a couple's question. Someone wanted to know what inspired me to make YouTube, and it was not you.
It was me.
No.
It was me too.
I was making YouTube videos, well, when did I start?
When you got all your makeup stuff.
Oh, even Mark bought me my first ring light. I remember what was it for my birthday or what?
I think it was just a random gift.
It was a random gift. And back then ring lights were expensive. I think he paid like $250 for a ring light, and now I think, you know, a good ring light, you can find one for like 50, $60. But back then they were like hard to find and they're expensive. So what inspired me to make a YouTube is like I fell in love watching Nicole Guerrero when I was barely getting into makeup. That's who I would watch like for tutorials. And watching tutorials back then was a big thing. Now watching tutorials for makeup, it's kind of like we all know how to blend our eyeshadow. But back then I was like really fascinated with it, and I was like, man, I should make that would be so cool if I could make like YouTube videos. And I remember ColourPop was like the new brand, the it brand, and then they had like all these liquid lipsticks because that was like their first thing that they came out with. And I remember they were like $5 each, so I bought like freaking 20 shades of lipsticks. And my first YouTube video was me trying on all the lipsticks, and I don't have it on my YouTube anymore because it's like so cringy. So it's like on private. I should make a video of me reacting to my old videos. That would be so cringy, but I should have. I should react to it. Y'all comment down below if y'all think I should do that. But that was my first YouTube video, and then Mark bought me my first ring light because he was like, yeah, you should. I know you would be good at it. And I was like, okay. So
she's too shy.
I was so shy back then. And then back then my room was like red and dark, and then I had a little computer desk for vanity, and I made the best of it. And if you would have told me back then that I would be here with a big pink beauty room and a nice camera, because I filmed with my phone, like if you would have told me back then that I would be here, I would be like, what? Like I would not believe you.
Tatiana for the camera.
Shout out to Tatiana and Bay and my friend Brooke. They all pitched in to buy me this nice camera. Otherwise I'd still be using my phone, which there's nothing wrong with that because actually the iPhones have good quality now. But yeah, I cannot believe that I'm here right now. I think back then I had like 200 followers, and then now I have 16,000 followers. So thank you guys for 16,000, by the way. And yeah, subscribers.
16,000 already?
Yeah.
That was fast.
I barely did a giveaway for 15.
That's pretty fast.
And I'm just like, wow, like I'm so grateful because like I said, I had like 600 followers for years, and then I barely started to get back into the groove of YouTube. And then also, you know, Tanya helped me with a lot, so I got to give props to my girl. But now that I'm here, I'm just like, wow, it's crazy. So I can't even imagine like how, you know, it's gonna be in the future. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Okay guys, so that was it for our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you have a good Christmas and a happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.